because as I read the Bible and as you read the Bible, you read the same things in the Bible that I do, you realize that the Bible talks about our salvation in 3 time tenses. In other words, the phrase once saved, always saved, it seems to imply that everything regarding our salvation is in the past. Once saved, always saved. It all puts it in the past. Once saved. It's like a definitive. There's nothing more to say about the question. Well, but listen, the Bible says that our salvation is past, present, and future in Jesus Christ. That is, those who have come to Jesus and put their faith in his person and work, those who are bold enough to believe the very words of Jesus when he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. For those particular people, Jesus gives them life as he promised he would. But notice the nature of that life. It's in the past. I love what it says in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 5. I'm going to look down and read the notes I've made here. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 5 says, even when we were dead in trespasses and sins, he made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved. Again, that's in the past tense, isn't it? Have been saved. Well, then you take it just a little bit further. Verse 8 of Ephesians chapter 2 says this, for by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God. Notice that phrasing, by grace you have been saved. That's salvation in the past tense. And the Bible speaks about it in that sense, and we believe it. Okay, that's one aspect. Here's a second aspect. There's the present. For example, 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18 says this, for the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. Notice the way Paul phrased that there. To those of us who are being saved. Here he puts it in the present tense, sort of in the ongoing sense, are being saved. And then there's 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 15, which says this, for we are to God the fragrance of Christ among those who are being saved and among those who are perishing. Again, in those verses, Paul puts the phrasing in the present. We are being saved. That's the idea in those 2 verses. And again, I'm just drawing out a couple verses as examples in each one of these categories. So we got the past, we got the present, but the Bible also speaks about our salvation for those who put their faith in the person and work of Jesus Christ, especially in what he did at the cross and the victory at the empty tomb. It talks about our salvation in the future sense. Let me read you what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 10, verse 22. For he who endures to the end will be saved. That's putting it off in the future tense. And then in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 15, Paul says, if anyone works is burned, he will suffer loss, but he himself will be saved, yet so as through fire. And again, I'm just throwing out a couple example verses that I looked up actually fairly quickly. These might not even be the best representative verses to speak about this idea, but you get the sense. Our salvation is past, present, and future.